Alright guys, we will head back to base and see what the war table will bring. But first, let's do some reconning with our party members. Disgusted noise.
Worried?
Is it that obvious?
I'm afraid so.
Did I do the right thing? What I have set in motion here could destroy everything I have revered my whole life. One day they may write about me as a traitor, a madwoman, a fool, and they may be right.
Well, Cassandra, it's only if we fail they'll write you down as a fool in history, but if we succeed, you'll be revolutionary.
Didn't I? My trainers always said, Cassandra, you are too brash. You must think before you act. I see what must be done, and I do it. I see no point in running around in circles like a dog chasing its tail. But I misjudged you in the beginning, did I not? I thought the answer was before me, clear as day. I cannot afford to be so careless again.
I mean, they say history is written by the victors, so...
It wasn't like you had no reason to suspect me.
I was determined to have someone answer for what happened. Anyone. I'm curious. Do you even believe in the Maker?
I just love these philosophical questions because I don't really know myself.
I can't really say.
I suppose it doesn't matter now. I have to believe we were put on this path for a reason, even if you do not. Now it simply remains to see where it leads us.
And of course, when it comes down to the Chantry and the Maker, Cassandra gives us
Personally,
a
I don't actually
open-ended
know much about you.
answer.
What do you want to know?
I'm not sure. Where are you from?
The Circle of Magi at Ostwick, at least until the rebellion began.
Yes, I suppose that would have required you to stay on the move. Tell me, do you consider the Free March as your home? Are you eager to go back?
Looks like I'm being interrogated again, albeit in a more friendly manner, but yeah.
Wherever I am.
I'm more of a nomad, really.
That's how I feel now, after years of tending to business for the Divine.
I love how she only slightly approves.
I'd like to get to know you better.
You would?
Is that a problem?
Not entirely. I'm just curious as to your motivation.
Let's just call me a self-motivator.
No motivation beyond making things between us less.
Antagonistic?
Exactly.
As you wish. My name is Cassandra Pentecost, daughter of the Royal House of Navarra, 78th in line for the Navarran throne. I joined the Seekers of Truth as a young woman, and was with the Order until they withdrew from the Chantry. I remained as the Divine's right hand, carrying out her order to form the Inquisition. And here we are. That's all there is to know, my lord.
Oh snap, we got royalty in the house. It's really similar to Alistair, really, from Origins.
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Ninth Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
Always the modest one, huh?
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
Looks like Divine Justinia is also
You thought you could
revolutionary.
really change things.
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
If Justinia convinced you to stay, she must be pretty good.
The Pentaghasts are a very large clan. Half of Cumberland could say the same.
Really?
No, but it feels that way. I have hundreds of relatives so distant they need charts to prove we're related at all. And they have them. Oh yes. The Pentaghasts value their precious blood like it runs with gold.
I guess the rich and the famous also have their problems. First world problems,
It was
ladies
a
and
life
gentlemen.
worth getting away from. The Pentaghasts are famed for dragon hunting, but few actually pursue the craft. Most are fat and lazy. They pay lip service to the Maker and care only for idle pleasures and past glories. My brother was all that kept me in Navarra. Once he was gone, so was I.
Yeah, a highly
Tell
aristocratic
me about your brother.
environment
I
definitely doesn't really suit
prefer
Cassandra.
not
I
to
can
speak of
really see
Anthony.
her being a black sheep of the
Another
family
time, perhaps.
in this case.
You don't seem to like your homeland.
My family polluted it for me. What little I saw of my homeland was through the bars of a gilded cage. My uncle treated me like a porcelain doll to be placed on a shelf and dusted only when necessary. Thus I did not see Navarra, the real Navarra, until much later. By then I realized I knew it not at all.
At least the uncle wasn't from
What about your parents?
the series of
They
unfortunate
had the
events. I
misfortune
mean,
of taking the wrong
do you
side
imagine
in the
that?
second
Jim
attempt to
Carrey?
overthrow King Marcus. The king executed them, but spared my brother and I since we were family, and children at the time. Thus we were raised by my uncle, a mortalitasi who preferred the company of his corpses to the living.
whoa, necromancy?
Your uncle was a...
You got a really messed up uncle there.
A death mage. He still is. My countrymen do not burn the dead, they bury them in special crypts. The mortalitasi supervise the crypts, like priests. Uncle Vestalis oversees the grand necropolis. Navarrans spend more time honoring dead relatives than they do with living ones. It is odd to be so fascinated with death and its trappings. I will never understand it.
I'll let you get back to work.
Alright, so the summary of this Recon chat was... She got one messed up family, I must say,
there.
the very
With a
least.
shield in your hand, block with it. If this
Can't
man were
really
your
say
enemy,
much.
you'd be dead. Lieutenant, don't hold
Let's see
back.
what Colin has
The
to
recruits
say
must
here.
prepare for a real fight, not a practice one.
Yes, Commander.
We've received a number of recruits, locals from Haven and some pilgrims. None made quite the entrance you did.
Well, I appreciate that, but didn't really have much of a choice for that one.
That wasn't my idea.
I'd be concerned if it was. I was recruited to the Inquisition in Kirkwall myself. I was there during the Mage Uprising. I saw firsthand the devastation it caused.
Sir,
Cassandra sought a solution. When she offered me a position, I left the Templars to join her cause. Now it seems we face something far worse.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, green portals floating in the sky. Just
You
another
left the
day, you
Templars
know what I'm
for
saying?
you believe the Inquisition can work?
I do. The Chantry lost control of both Templars and Mages. Now they argue over a new divine while the breach remains. The Inquisition could act when the Chantry cannot. Our followers would be part of that. There's so much we can... Forgive me. I doubt you came here for a lecture.
No, please, I insist. I like your enthusiasm. Not gonna go that route, unfortunately.
You've given this a lot of thought.
I know what happens when order is lost, and action comes too late. There's still a lot of work ahead.
Commander, Sir Ryden has a report on our supply lines.
As I was saying.
So it looks like that's it, I think, for Commander Cullen. So let's go take a quick peek inside. Let's talk to some of our other party members. Try to get their insight on the situation at hand. And away we go.
Need something?
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Oh, stop it.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Well, that's an awfully innocent way to put it.
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
I mean, managing spy networks and writing books,
If you run a spy network, why is Liliana
not
a
mutually
spy
exclusive,
master?
right?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
Well, aren't you the nice guy, Varric? I'm
You're an
sure there's
author?
more than that.
What kind of books have you written?
I've tried my hands at a few genres. My crime serials are my most popular. Hard in Hightown, guards breaking the rules to get things done. The Tale of the Champion is the most famous thing I've written, or infamous maybe. I started a romance serial once, Swords and Shields, but to be honest, I don't have a knack for romances. Most of my stories end in tragedy. Probably that says something unfortunate about me personally.
You could be the next Dwarven Shakespeare, who knows?
What sort of shops do you own?
Actually, we don't own shops. That was just an example. Mostly we invest in money lenders. Auction houses, a few mercenary companies, a couple of smithies. I think we own half a beet plantation in Ravane somewhere. Most of that's my brother's doing. Bartrand had business sense. Not much tact, but loads of business sense.
Business sense, huh?
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. There's a hidden shop in Kirkwall called the Black Emporium. I found her in a barrel labeled swag. The owner sold her to me for a ham sandwich and a pair of yellow ruffled pants.
Well, that's not very
What's she named
believable.
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is...
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Now I'm really
Thanks,
interested.
No
I'll be dead honest. I mean, who doesn't want to know why his crossbow is named Bianca? Let's keep it real, man. Let's keep it real.
Sigrid said the blankets weren't worth selling. He's giving them to the Inquisition.
Let's find the left hand of the Divine.
Blessed are the peacekeepers,
See
the
what's
champions of
up
the
with her.
just. Blessed are the righteous, the lights in the shadow. In their blood, the Maker's will is written. Is that what you want from us? Blood? To die so that your will is done? Is death your only blessing? You speak Fandraste,
I'm sorry, that's a little
no?
bit too deep for me.
What does the Maker's prophet have to say about all of this? What's his game?
Game plans to close up
I
all the
speak
rifts.
for no one but myself, and I have no answers for you.
Then we can only guess at what he wants. The Chantry teaches that the Maker abandoned us. He demands repentance for our sins. He demands it all. Our lives, our deaths. Justinia gave him everything she had, and he let her die.
No point in looking back in the past. Let's try to change the future together.
Maybe you should be angry at the people who murdered her?
If the Maker doesn't intervene to save the best of his servants, what good is he? I used to believe I was chosen, just as some say you are. I thought I was fulfilling his purpose for me, working with the Divine, helping people. But now she's dead. It was all for nothing. Serving the Maker meant nothing.
Well, if you put it that way, I mean, we're all going
Maybe
to
you
die
have
one
another
day,
purpose.
so...
I could help you find it.
No, this is my burden. I regret that I even let you see me like this. It was a moment of weakness. It won't happen again. Come. To work, then. We will speak later.
Man, don't shut me out, girl. Come on, man. Come on, man. Just when we had an interesting conversation. And bam, that happens. Alright, let's save the game. I'm a bit depressed right now, so... Don't mind me, guys, if I might fall silent for a couple seconds. I just can't seem to accept the fact that we got shut out completely by Liliana.
It's good you've returned. We heard of your encounter.
You heard?
My agents in the city sent word ahead, of course.
It's a shame the Templars have abandoned their senses, as well as the capital.
There's definitely something fishy going on around here.
We had to do something, and now we have an opportunity.
Yes, and we have the opening we need to approach the Templars and the mages.
Do we? Lord Seeker Lucius is not the man I remember.
True, he has taken the orders somewhere, but to do what? My reports have been very odd.
We must look into it. I'm certain not everyone in the Order will support the Lord Seeker.
Or the Herald could simply go to meet the mages in Redcliffe instead.
You think the Mage Rebellion is more united? It could be 10 times worse.
Throwing the ball back to me, I really don't know.
Or you could
I really
stop
don't know which
bickering
side
and
to
make a
take
decision.
at this point.
I agree.
We shouldn't discount Redcliffe. The mages may be worth the risk.
They are powerful, Ambassador, but more desperate than you realize.
That's also true.
You think the invitation could be some kind of trap?
If some among the rebel mages were responsible for what happened at the Conclave.
The same could be said about the Templars.
True enough. Right now, I'm not certain we have enough influence to approach the Order safely.
Then the Inquisition needs agents in more places. That's something you can help with.
In the meantime, we should consider other options.
Well, the conclusion is that there is no conclusion.
There is one other matter.
Yeah.
Several months ago, the Grey Wardens of Ferelden vanished. I sent word to those in Orlais, but they have also disappeared. Ordinarily, I wouldn't even consider the idea they're involved in all this, but the timing is curious.
Wait, so you're suspecting the Grey Wardens?
Grey Wardens? I'm not familiar
No,
with
that
them.
can't be.
They're
That
an
just
ancient
can't
order
be.
that has existed to fight Darkspawn invasions since the first Blights thousands of years ago. They have faded since those glory days, but haven't disappeared entirely. Ordinarily, their order is neutral in political affairs, but they appear in strange places.
Well, the previous
That
soy
does
sauce
sound
stand
odd,
from
I
Origins
agree.
was basically
The
a
others have
caveman, so...
disregarded my suspicion, but I cannot ignore it. 2 days ago, my agents in the hinterlands heard news of a Grey Warden by the name of Blackwall. If you have the opportunity, please seek him out. Perhaps he can put my mind at ease.
And if you can't?
Then there may be more going on than we thought.
Alright, so we got a former Grey Warden that's been located named Blackwall. Quest the Lone Warden. I think it's definitely worth checking out. If it means another ally for us, so... What's
The
this?
Inquisition cannot remain.
Hello.
If you
Hello.
can't prove it was founded on Justinian's orders.
This is an inopportune time, Marquis. More of the faithful flock here each day. But allow me to introduce you to the brave soul who risked his life to slow the magic of the breach. Sir Trevelyan, may I present the Marquis d'Aurelion, one of Divine Justinian's greatest supporters.
And the rightful owner of Haven. House d'Aurelion lent Justinia these lands for pilgrimage. This Inquisition is not a beneficiary of this arrangement.
Pardon me, my French is not very good. I have no idea what
Demons
you just
are pouring
said.
from the sky, and you're worried about land claims.
Haven is the d'Aurelion's rightful property.
Has Empress Selene officially acknowledged your possession of Haven? I was unaware Her Imperial Majesty had conferred with Ferenden's monarchs on this matter.
The Empress has not yet had the opportunity to do so.
We face a dark time, Your Grace. Divine Justinia would not want her passing to divide us. She would, in fact, trust us to forge new alliances to the benefit of all, no matter how strange they might seem.
I just love our PR lady. That's gold right there. That's gold.
I'll think on it, Lady Montilyet. The Inquisition might stay in the meanwhile.
And what's with the mask? What the... Anyways,
I
that
apologize
is
for the
sure
intrusion.
some
I didn't
interesting
realize
things.
you were meeting with the Marquis.
That sure was
You
interesting.
did little harm. In truth, the debate was most beneficial as practice for those to come.
You expect more people in Haven?
Undoubtedly. And each visitor will spread the story of the Inquisition after they depart. An ambassador should ensure the tale is as complimentary as possible.
Since you seem to know what you're doing, I'm just gonna let you go.
May I ask
go
what
ham.
brought you to work for the
Knock
Inquisition?
yourself out.
Sister Leliana approached me. We've been acquainted for quite some time. For better or worse, being the Inquisition's diplomat has become as interesting as she promised.
Well, you're quite
What sort of dealings have you had
adventurous
with nobility?
as well,
For some
to say
years,
the
I
least.
was the royally appointed court ambassador from Antiva to Orlais. The nobility of Thedas is a rather singular sphere. Those I'm not acquainted with, I know through reputation.
Ah, you're from Antiva.
The Inquisition
got-
is lucky to have you as an
know,
advocate, Lady Montilyet.
Thank you. Let us hope so. Thedas' politics
It's not really a
have
Spanish
become
accent, but I don't know
agitated
why.
as of late.
She reminds me of
I hope
a
to guide us
Spanish
down smoother
ambassador.
paths.
Ambassador.
Please excuse me. I've much work to do before the day is done.
Sure thing. I will let you do your PR work. And in the meantime, I will find more rifts to close. Since the war table didn't really help, Cassandra did point out we needed additional agents to spread our influence. And that's something we really need to do at this point. Once again, going to go for a quick save, just in case.